Sit back and throw one back with your pinky in the air and a middle finger to the world. And join me, the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, and the rest of the Gentleman Bastard Brigade as we look back on this day in pro wrestling history. But before we do, put that drink down, like, share, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get our wrestling nerd on. It is March 3rd, and we're going to start off as we always do on a positive note. That's right, these are your pro wrestling birthdays. 1934, NWA Territorial Wrestler Luke Fields. 1964, WWF and WCW Enhancement Talent Glenn Kaluka. 1981, current Ring of Honor star PJ Black. 1982, journeyman indie wrestler Jack Thriller. 1984, Hanson. 1987, indie wrestler Sigmund. And last but not least, 1992, Mandy Leone. Of course, on the flip side of that coin, your pro wrestling deaths for March 3rd. 2016, Japanese legend Hayabusa. Alright, enough of the sad stuff. It's time to get to the meat and potatoes. That's right, these are your pro wrestling history highlights for March 3rd. And we're starting all the way back in 1914. Alex Stewart defeats Jack Forbes to become the first Canadian featherweight champion. 1922, Ed Strangler Lewis wins his fourth world title by defeating Stan Zbyszko in Wichita, Kansas. 1944, Dean Denton wins the San Francisco Pacific Coast heavyweight title for the third time, defeating the Green Panther, aka Pat Frawley. 1949, Fred Atkins defeats Whipper Billy Watson to win the Toronto NWA British Empire heavyweight title. 1953, Fred Blassie and Miguel Lopez defeat Al Bailey and Danny Platchis in Albuquerque, New Mexico for the Rocky Mountain Tag Team titles. 1964, Bob Ellis defeats Bob Orton to win the Florida NWA Southern Heavyweight title in Tampa, Florida. 1966, Paul Jones defeats Stan Stasiak for the NWA Pacific Northwest Heavyweight title. 1970, Bob Orton defeats the Missouri Mauler for the Florida NWA Southern Heavyweight title in Tampa, Florida. 1973, Gene and Ole Anderson defeat Art Nielsen and Johnny Weaver to win the NWA Atlantic Coast Tag Team titles in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. At the same event, Jerry Briscoe wins his third NWA Eastern States Heavyweight title, ending Rip Hawk's fourth reign. 1976, Rocky Johnson and Jose Lothario defeat Killer Tim Brooks and Stan Hansen for the NWA Texas Tag Team titles. That's a tag match for you, damn. 1979, Ron Starr defeats Roddy Piper for the vacant San Francisco NWA United States Heavyweight title in San Francisco, California. 1983, Expectoro Jr. defeats Lizmark to win the Mexican National Middleweight title. 1986, Tom Pritchard defeats Tim Horner for the Southeast NWA United States Junior Heavyweight title. Say that 5 times fast. 1989, Beauty and the Beast, aka The Beast and Terrence Garvin, defeat Chris Adams and Jeff Jarrett in a tournament final for the vacant USWA Texas Tag Team titles. Damn it, now all I have is that Beauty and the Beast song stuck in my head. 1991, The Pegasus Kid, Chris Benoit, defeats Villano 3 to win the WWF World Light Heavyweight title in Mexico. You heard me right, 9 years before he makes his WWF debut, he actually held a WWF title. 1993, Mano Negro defeats Atlantis to win the NWA World Middleweight title. 1995, Silver King and El Tejano defeat the Headhunters to win the IWA Japan World Tag Team titles in Hiroshima, Japan. 1997, WCW runs its 77th edition of WCW Monday Night Nitro in the Omni in Atlanta. This is notable as it is the last time that WCW ever runs the Omni, as it is demolished later that year and the Phillips Arena was built in its place. Just all the NWA and WCW history in that building. Whew. Also on this date in 1997, in a tournament final, the British Bulldog pinned Owen Hart after reversing a victory roll to become the first WWF European Champion. The tournament took place over 7 German events in 7 days. Other participants other than the tag team champions, British Bulldog and Owen Hart, were Flash Funk, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Bret Hart, Rocky Maivia, Mankind, and Big Van Vader. Those were your pro wrestling history highlights for March 3rd. I'm the Eclectic Gentleman, Stephen Watts, and we'll see you tomorrow.